Hello. It is Monday. It is a day after night two of WrestleMania 40. I gave my thoughts on Mania night one, but it's not going to be the same structure. I just want to talk. I just want to have a conversation. I don't necessarily want to go through every single match and give you my thoughts and stuff like that. I just want to have this conversation with you guys. Let's just dive into the main event here. Now, we all kind of figured that it would be some sort of like Endgame Avengers sort of festivity of a main event, and we assumed it was going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin because we did see John Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin on the trailer production truck. We got The Undertaker. Now, some of my chat leading up to WrestleMania, they were like, "Oh, I think the Undertaker's going to be there," and I'm like, "No, it seems like he's overkill." It reminded me of the Tuesday Night War between NXT and AEW. I was like, this like they bring out the Undertaker when you're just kind of like, "Fuck you," you know, like it's kind of like that, and the Undertaker came out. So first off, the match was incredible. The first person that did interrupt was Jimmy Uso. So Jimmy Uso came out, and then Jay Uso came out, and they had a spot where Jay speared Jimmy off the ramp into tables and it through tables, and that was probably way better than their entire match night one. The storytelling in between a story, because there's so many other subsections of this story, because this story has been going on for so damn long, one of the greatest stories in all of professional wrestling, in my opinion. Solo comes out. What better way to introduce John Cena coming out than Solo being there? The fact that Solo the Enforcer still had to help Roman Reigns, and he was kind of like, "Come on, man, like I'm doing all the work, take the pin," because that's another thing between Roman Reigns and Solo. Solo is the one that usually is the one that takes down the person, and then Roman Reigns pins. But this is Cody's moment. This means so much more to Cody. What better way where Solo gets shut down with John Cena's music hitting, and then we transition into the cinema of The Rock and John Cena. It was a nice little throwback to their match at WrestleMania 28. The final boss coming out as soon as Cena was there, and then you see the camera focus on Cena's face, and you just see him hear the final boss's music. The final boss comes in and he's walking slow, and he tells John Cena, "Get the fuck out of my ring." Two previous faces of the company, and now they're Hollywood. And it was really nice to fucking see The Rock telling Cena that, because you know John Cena always talks about The Rock saying, "Well, I'm here for life, and The Rock chooses Hollywood, but I won't be that person. I will be here. Even if I'm doing Hollywood, I will be here." The Rock was like, get the fuck out of my ring." Because The Rock right now is currently doing work. He's doing in-ring work. He's doing a storyline in the WWE right now. So it kind of like it was a nice fuck you to Cena, because it's like, yeah, you said all this about me, but look who's here and look who's not here. You came out for this little segment, great. Get the fuck out of my ring. And I thought it was beautiful. And then this is where I might get emotional, because so we have the Shield. We have the Shield's entrance theme hit, and I think the majority of us went straight to Dean Ambrose. We were like, okay, so Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose are gonna come down the ramps. Like, it was only Seth Rollins, and while I was watching this, while I was entertained by the cinema, Seth Rollins, I was waiting for Seth Rollins because it did take him a while to get there. So I was like, where is Seth? Is he going to come out? Is he not? When he came out, he immediately got speared. And in my head, I thought, well, that was a cool little throwback that you gave us. You even had the Shield gear and everything. That was cool. But like, you just got speared right away. Like, all right, you're supposed to be here for Cody Rhodes. What I did not know at that time was that Seth Rollins has been telling us this entire time, that he's going to be the Shield for Cody Rhodes. He told Cody Rhodes that there is only one man that will be uniquely suited to be his Shield. We're in the Shield together, they work together. Seth Rollins betrayed the Shield. The amount of hints that Seth Rollins was leaving for us, and the amount of times we thought it was hints that he was going to turn on Cody Rhodes. My initial thought was, okay, you just got speared. That's what you did to have Cody's back. His part in this entire match was a pivotal part. If he didn't have that part, Cody Rhodes probably wouldn't have finished his story. He was the key. He was the key to this entire match. He was the key to this entire story. He knew if he came out with the Shield entrance music, with the Shield gear, he knows Roman better than anyone. He knew that Roman Reigns would initially get distracted by Seth Rollins and give that opportunity for Cody Rhodes to take advantage and pin 1, 2, 3. When WWE posted this video of Rollins, and it was a clip of him coming out with the Shield gear, and they quoted him saying there is only one man who is uniquely suited to be your Shield, and WWE added Rollins and said knew it from the start. He's essentially the Iron Man in the Avengers movie. That I was crying. I started crying because I know I've been saying this, but initially I was just like, all right, you just got speared that entire ride, and then you just get speared, and then you get a chair shot. It did not click to me until this very moment. And knowing that every single time you watch the main event, I've watched it 3 times already. Every single time you rewatch it, you probably have some more clarity, or you realize something new, or you're like, oh, this is what's happening because of this story and this story. And there's so many layers, and Triple H is a freaking king among kings when it comes to professional wrestling. It's beautiful when you have people who work for the WWE, who are making the production, who are putting all this together. It's amazing to know that it's not work while they're doing their job. They're enjoying it because it's pro wrestling. We saw Samantha Irvin just break down, and she knows that she's allowed to do that. She knows that she's allowed to be in her feelings because we are under the Paul Levesque era. If this was the Vince era, I don't think she would be able to just break down like that. But she let her emotions be shown on TV because she's a wrestling fan at the end of the day. Same thing with Michael Cole. Michael Cole broke down, and he broke down, and he said, I love pro wrestling. And it just took me back to all the times where Vince was in his ear, and we all kind of like had opinions on Michael Cole and telling him that he's outdated, or he doesn't know what he's talking about, or just stuff like that. But it's like, Vince was always in his ear, and now that he doesn't have Vince in his ear and he can just enjoy pro wrestling and the product that's in front of him, I think that's beautiful. And then at the very end, we saw all of the talent that went against the bloodline, went against Roman Reigns. We saw them all come out, and then Cody Rhodes told Triple H, told Bruce Pritchard to come out, and the moment where him and Michael Cole hugged and Michael Cole was crying, it was an emotional roller coaster. It was amazing. It was pure cinema.